welcome. Welcome aboard. Welcome back. Welcome home. Absolutely and 100% depending on where you are in relation to this channel, this energy, this week, this everything. This is the weekly What's Up for the 4th of October through the 10th of October 2021. So let's begin by talking about our Monday. So we're going to come into this week with a Virgo moon, right? And that kind of creates a little bit of hyper-analysis around our feelings anyway. So on this particular Monday, based on the transits, don't be surprised if you wake up a little bit disgruntled. Overnight, the moon trines Uranus, but then is in opposition to Neptune, which is going to create a little bit of a reality check, right? So don't be surprised if you wake up feeling a little bit of out of sync with your reality, right? Wanting some kind of change. The key is that we get to find the path, right, to expansion. And later on in the day, as the sun opposes Chiron, right, we're going to find power in your own healing, in your own story. On Tuesday, there's a lot going on. The moon moves into Libra, right, early-ish in the morning. So this is about your communications, right, being in service to that beautiful moon sextiling Venus overnight. So we have a beautiful grand air trine in the sky, right, with the moon in Libra, Saturn in Aquarius, and the North Node in Gemini. So we know that Mercury is retrograde, which is going to make our communications, of course, need to be precise. I saw you. There you are. We're going to take it. So you need to be precise, right, in your communications, especially with a Libra moon. You just do. And so, again, make your communications in service, right, to that moon-Venus sextile. And then later on in the day, Mercury is going to be in conjunct Neptune, which is going to, again, we're talking about two planets in retrograde, right? So we're talking about communications and that kind of otherworldly feeling. So how can you deepen your experience? Well, you deepen your experience through clarity, right? And especially in the middle of a Mercury retrograde, as we have that an in conjunction to a retrograde Mercury or a retrograde Neptune as well. So mind your experience, right? And be aware of what you're creating, because on Wednesday, there's a whole lot going on. We've got a new moon at 13 degrees of Libra, right? That moon is also in conjunct to Uranus, explosive awareness, and conjunct Mars. Those are a couple of volatile energies. So this is, in addition, right, that's just in the morning. In addition, Pluto is going to go direct, and we have a sun in conjunct Uranus that day. There's just a lot going on. So please be mindful of your needs and your heart where it comes into one-on-one relationships, right? We're talking about a Libra new moon, and Pluto going direct. So at that particular new moon, we're definitely going to want to be mindful of our relationship patterns, and how those affect us, how those affect our experience, and how we can pull from past experience and bring lessons forth, right? So with that Pluto going direct, we're going to be setting up our superpowers, right? Because Pluto is all about that transformational power, right? Speaking our reality. Echoing back to that yesterday's issue on Tuesday, where we talked about mind your experience, mind what you're creating. This is going to echo, right? And this is going to expand that idea. in terms of the real you, the you that you're creating, and the story that you're telling about it, what you're pulling forth. Whew, that's a big day. On Thursday, Venus is going to move into Sagittarius, right? Later in the day, the Sun is conjunct Mars. So as Venus moves into Sagittarius, right, we're going to move out of the mysterious into the abstraction. That sounds a little weird, but it's true. So Sagittarius energy is super spiritual, right? But it's about you in relation to something bigger than you. Scorpio is about how can I connect with that. Sagittarius is how am I defined in relation? How am I experiencing myself in relation to something bigger, right? That's amazing. So it's about how you take on the world, right? And then that moon is going to move into Scorpio, right? So your feeling sense of things is going to be into that deeper kind of union, into that magnetic immersion learning sense of how can I experience the 3D as myself, right? This is water and fire, so it's steamy, right? It's also about your feelings in service to your creation of your reality, which is a big deal. And also, please keeping in mind that the Sun is going to be conjunct Mars in Libra. What you do is who you are. And in Libra, that one-on-one relationship can be about how you are witnessed, but also how you are witnessing, right? And the interplay between the two of those, right? In terms of your one-on-one relationships, what you're really doing is sitting down in front of a mirror and having a conversation, and you're discovering the parts of you that you love and want to amplify, and parts of you that you want to shift and change. That's really basically what we do in every relationship, right? We just have one long conversation with ourselves. But particularly on Thursday, as Venus moves into Sagittarius and the moon moves into Scorpio, you get a really beautiful and clean mirror if you're willing, as the moon squares Saturn, to really, really, really look without limitation or restriction or boundary, or actually without bullshit. And you could really learn something beautiful about yourself. Yeah, just be aware. On Friday, okay, you might have some shocking dreams, right? Pay attention. We have some interesting overnight aspects that might allow you to have some old stuff kind of siphon up through the ethers. And as we know, right, during Mercury retrograde, things come back to us. If you can balance them through your heart center, and really feel deeply into those, right, you have a couple of questions, right, as that moon trines Neptune and squares Jupiter, both of which are retrograde, asking you, how are you going to proceed, and how is it that you're going to proceed without that baggage, right? So on Saturday, ooh, so much is going on Saturday. This is a big week, guys. On Saturday, right, on Saturday, the moon is going to move into Sagittarius to join Venus. The Sun is going to conjunct that retrograding Mercury. Wow, the wheel is coming out a lot. I love it. Right. So let's have this conversation. It's about a day of feeling really aligned. There's a lot going on. A lot of opportunity for balance, right? A lot of opportunity for expression. So it's a day of feeling aligned, feeling like your head, your heart, your communications, your actions, your plans, your structures are feeling really aligned. And then that evening, the moon is also going to move into, or the moon is going to sextile Saturn. Now, here's the deal. I'm not saying act on your alignment. What I'm saying is be aware of your dreams. Sit down with paper, with pen, and scheme, plot, plan, create your visions, get them down on paper. Feel into your what comes next, right? With that moon in Sagittarius, especially conjunct Venus. And you've got that beautiful, yeah, I saw you, Mercury retrograde conjunct Mars in Libra. What are you feeling? What are you planning? What structures are you creating? How can you shift and align your consciousness to be more in alignment with the structures that you want to create in your own life? What comes next? What comes next? What comes next? Be mindful of that. Dream your dreams, right? On Sunday, a big day, in terms of, honestly, the most important thing is that Saturn goes direct. So let the bedrock shift your reality, right? Let that bedrock move as Saturn moves direct. Again, all of those things that have been coming toward you, wow, all of those things that have been coming toward you in your awareness, allow them to take shape in your periphery, because once all of these big social and transpersonal planets start moving back into direct motion, you're going to start feeling that supported expansion, that supported opportunity, that supported facilitation of not just your healing, but your forward motion. So this is really a week to plot and plan, to sit down and create your own treasure map. If you feel like such a thing is something that you enjoy doing, create a map where you can put those X's on that path that you're choosing, and always know that, you know, sometimes if you hold space for that or better, right? That or better, that serendipity, right? The universe is going to allow you to find, to encounter, to come upon that perfect path every single time, right? As long as you are in creation of your own reality, right? And what we know about Saturn moving direct, we'll talk more about that. But the key here is that as we talk about it, Saturn is all about tying up your loose ends, because, as I've said a lot, Rachel Krieger, Saturn can only use against you what you have left lying about in the yard. So if you leave the rake out, don't be surprised when you catch it upside your head. But if you put the rake away, then you always know where to find it, right? You always know where your tools are instead of your loose ends, and that is very important. So, yeah. So as we witness this new moon, right, in Libra, I'm going to say set about maybe a year, right? Get your next year in alignment. Get your next year of journeying planned. Get your next year of healing planned. What are you going to work on? Remembering always that our relationships that we work on in Libra season are always our mirror, right? All right, let's have a conversation. So Monday, right? Monday we talked about waking up a little off, perhaps, but finding your power later in the day. So, okay, we have the moon, we have the star. So the moon is about things that are perhaps hidden, things that are veiled, things that are also intuited as opposed to perhaps felt or spoken or heard, right? So there are things that we feel in that symbolic, intuitive sort of way, things that are perhaps not apparent, but are apparent upon reflection, since that is what the moon does, right? Then we have the star, absolutely beautiful, right? As we've got the moon in conjunct Jupiter in Aquarius on this day. The star, of course, being that card of Aquarius. So we're going to talk about this being a card of wish fulfillment, a card of blessing, a card of universal and cosmic support, right? This is how you learn, right? This is literally the stars, celestial awareness, right? So utilizing the cosmos as your expansion, finding your way through, right, as your own expansion is asked. So even if you wake up a little off, just trust the path, right? Trust that what will be illuminated is exactly what's supposed to be illuminated. Trust that exactly what you need will be illuminated in perfect divine timing, right? That's how it always works. On Tuesday, we've got a beautiful grand air trine. The moon moves into Libra. Mercury is in conjunct Neptune, right? We're talking about deepening your experience, mindfully creating your experience. Of course, we have the Nine of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands. The Nine of Pentacles is that card of, look what I have created. Right? So this is about really being resourced, feeling your personal power, your capabilities and your capacities, right? And so as the moon sextiles Venus, we understand that our feelings are always in creation of our reality, especially our 3D reality. And here we're talking about our resourcefulness. And the Eight of Wands is that card of rapid forward movement, right? We have the moon and Saturn and the North Node in a beautiful grand air trine with those lovely air signs, right? This is motion through the air. This is rapid communication, again, in service to your highest and best, in service to your what comes next, in service to your creation. How can you deepen your experience? Clarity, 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 right? The Eight of Wands, because this forward motion is so rapid, it leaves no room for miscommunication. The Nine of Pentacles doesn't need any miscommunication. She is on her game 100%. Wednesday, we're talking about that big new moon, right? This Libra new moon. So let's really have this conversation here. So we've got this beautiful Six of Cups, which is that unconditional love. This is that experience of pure acceptance, right? With no expectation, with no agenda, with no even thought to reciprocity. This is just love for the sake of love, right? Libra moon, new moon. Come on, this is beautiful. We've also got the Ace of Pentacles. This is that gift from the universe in terms of how we're resourced, right? So what do we get when we add this 9 and the Ace? We get a 10 of Pentacles. Of course we do. Of course we do. And so we get this beautiful echo. This is the day that Pluto is going direct as well, right? We are setting up, there's a whole lot of Pluto transits coming this year. So set yourself up. Speak your reality into action, right? We're echoing this mindful creation. We're echoing this, I've got this. Yes, I'm moving forward in this direction, in my power, right? So this is an echo of that energy. This is that limitless power. Where do you get that? You get that from that unconditional acceptance. You're fully resourced because you're loved. You're loved because you're fully resourced. There's no room for doubt. There's no room for error, right? We're talking about those one-on-one relationships and the fact that, right, the next day as Venus moves into Sagittarius and the moon moves into Scorpio, right, we're going to have an opportunity to shift our paradigm, right, and be more in alignment with this unconditional love. How are we going to do that? Well, I don't know exactly what that means to you, but as we said, this is about how you shift your reflection to be in alignment with your actual being. And how Venus as that in relation to the abstraction in Sagittarius and the moon in Scorpio, creating that super amplified power, is going to allow you to put down whatever you don't need, whatever you're over, like, I just can't even, right? You don't have to. You don't have to. There's nothing in here that says you have to carry anything forward that you don't want to carry forward. And if that's an explosive awareness all of a sudden, and all of a sudden you realize that your feelings get to be in service to your creation of reality, and that what you do is who you are, and you get to witness yourself as a witness, really? You just get to choose. Am I going to be in love, or am I going to be in whatever the Ten of Wands is? I've had a revelation. I've had a realization. This is a sudden awareness. And guess what? I get to put all that crap down. Pluto is direct now, and the moon squares Pluto immediately into Thursday. So, and then everything switches signs. So much shifting. And by that night, the sun is conjunct Mars. And you get to move forward with no baggage. If you choose, right? You choose. How you moving forward? How you moving forward? Well, I'm just saying. Friday. This is that day that we talked about shocking dreams, right? Four of Swords. That kind of dream time energy. Pulling forth that old stuff. Anything that's unresolved, right? We often talk about the Four of Swords being the Three of Swords plus that additional Ace of Swords, right? The Three of Swords being loss, heartache, lessons, pain, and then the Ace of Swords being those new ideas, that new awareness, that new way of viewing something, right? The integration of the crap that you don't have to carry forward anymore. The integration of the nonsense, the putting down of whatever it is that you were hauling around in service to all of this great, big, magical awareness, right? In service to, oh, this 10 of Cups, let's just have that, right? So again, we're talking about how are you going to proceed without that baggage? Well, guess what? This is how you want to proceed. 10 of Cups is emotional fulfillment. It's we've got this. It's happy home, happy life. It's I have everything in my heart that I could possibly imagine. How did I get there? I did the work. I did the work, right? I shut my mouth. I did the work. And I got to where I wanted to go because I felt deeply, because I balanced through my heart center, because even in the midst of a Mercury retrograde, I put down my nonsense, right? I put down my nonsense. It's so easy, right? Sure, she says that, but she doesn't really mean it. I know it's hard. I know it's okay. On Saturday. Whew, so this is that day that we feel super aligned. Again, we are talking about putting down the crap. Okay, so do we have the Five of Pentacles? Do we have a little revisiting of my pain? Sure we do. This is how have I been left out in the cold, right? Well, I mean, guess what? You also have the Queen of Wands. She is the embodiment of your heart and your passion. She is alignment. She is that beautiful head and heart and communication and action and plan and structure in terms of your dreams. She is what gets you juiced. She is what gets you motivated. She's the reason you put your feet on the ground every day, not in the snow. Not in the snow. She's the reason that you put your feet on these paths, right? She's the reason that you get here. She's the reason that you get here because you're listening, because you're moving forward in the direction of your soul, of your highest purpose, of your cosmic utopian ideal, right? That's how you get there, is that you leave this nonsense behind, even if it's sad, right? Even if it's sad, because you've learned the lesson, you've integrated. 10 is integration, right? 9 is I've learned this lesson. 10 is I've integrated it and I'm ready to move forward from it, right? 10 is I've integrated it and I'm ready to move forward from it. 10 is I've integrated it and I'm getting ready to move forward from it. Again, we're talking about moving from this space of being aligned with your what comes next, writing it down, making notes about what are your dreams, right? What are your dreams? How did they get here? What don't you want? Sometimes the way that we learn what we do want is to experience what we don't want. And then we know how to lay out that treasure map. We know where the X's are. We know where the topography is. We know where the challenging climb part is. We know where to coast. We know those things. We know them because we lived and we learned, right? Sometimes you got to get kicked out of a place to know why you don't want to go back. I mean, it's just a fact. So on Sunday, right, Saturn moves direct later in the day. We have a lot of shifting. Like we said, let the bedrock move. Let that bedrock moving shift your reality. Look, this is the Wheel of Fortune, right? Allow yourself to be facilitated. Allow yourself to be supported. Allow yourself to be expanded. Allow the wheel to turn. What happens? How do we get stuck? We get stuck when we decide to be stuck. We get stuck when we haven't processed. We get stuck when we're trying to keep the wheel from turning, even though what's on the other side of the wheel is great, right? It's great. We still have to process. We still have to come into the power of our tens. You can't just get there. You have to let it come. You have to let that awareness come to you. So how do you do that? Well, I'll tell you. You do it by just letting your heart do what it needs to do, right? Naked heart living means I have no expectations. I have no barriers. I have no walls in order to feel. I have let down my guard. I am vulnerable, right? That's what naked heart living means. That's this journey, right? I'm putting down everything that's not in alignment with what I actually want, with what I actually desire, with what I actually need, with what's going to bring me joy, with the way that I want to move forward. Look. You see it? You see it? It's right there. Just walk forward. Let go of the nonsense. Step into the joy. So if you need a little bit more, we've got poised, right? Being ready, bringing something to light, being at your best, confidence. Okay. You can be assured that you are ready for anything right now. You know what you need to. Your skills are sharp. You've come to this place armed with wisdom and knowledge, and you sense a new phase of your life about to begin. People respond to your confidence and trust you. This is an auspicious time to begin new things. Really? This is an auspicious time to begin new things? At a Libra New Moon, you say? That's right. Forge your own path, right? You're making the treasure map, folks. You don't just find it and get a move on. You have to make it. So get making. Big, giant blessings. This is going to be an amazing week. Lots going on. So make sure you maintain your perspective and be your own best mirror, right? Yeah. Big blessings, guys.